Hello, how are y'all doing? I know it's been a bit since I posted. It's not that I just haven't, I don't know, I guess it's just because I haven't really paid much attention to YouTube because I've had other bigger priorities lately, like bills and work, and now that I'm working, I have had less time to upload to YouTube, but I'm really trying to get my feet on the ground just so that I can start recording and uploading to YouTube. Yeah, so this video is about my divorce, pretty much the legal aspect of divorce and how you get through it, what happens as you go through the system to get divorced. So this is how it went for me. It was a while. We have 2 kids together, and it really the path that divorce goes kind of depends on if you have kids or if you don't have kids. If you have kids, it's gonna be a very long process. If you don't have kids, it's still long, but it's a lot simpler, easier, and quicker. Less court stuff to deal with. But pretty much what you have to first do is you have to file the papers. So you go into the courthouse, or what I did is I went online onto my the city I lived in, the district and everything, courthouse where I would go. I printed out all the papers. They have all the paperwork you need. I mean, it kind of depends on where you live because it might be different for other states, but for where I live, I can just print out all the divorce papers I need online and then just create my own packet. So that's what I did. Now this goes a lot easier if both are willing to participate. And for me, yes, we were both willing to participate, but it was still a lot of arguing occurred just because that's what happens when you especially when you're dealing with kids. You argue between this, that with the kids and just everything. So I printed out all the paperwork and I started filling it out, and a lot of the paperwork you have to get notarized with your ex that you're getting divorced with. So you take him with you to the notarizer, you get it signed and notarized at the same time by him. And that's like, I had to get at least 5 papers notarized, I believe. So there's a lot of notarizing involved in the divorce paperwork, which it's like usually, I think it's $5 a notary. Yeah, it's like $5. So, anyways, after you feel like you got everything good and filled out, you bring all the paperwork into the courthouse and you file it. Now, filing can go a few different ways. First, it costs money. If you don't have the money, then you can actually bring your bank statements and prove that you don't make enough money. Like, just show your deposits in your bank account from work or whatnot, and just prove that you don't make enough money. So that's what I did, because if you have to pay for it, it costs quite a bit. I'm not sure how much, but you would have to pay for it. But I didn't because I went the other route. So after you file it, they pretty much give you some information. They give you a piece of paper. I wish I still had my paperwork, but they give you a piece of paper just pretty much saying what is due by when. They'll refer you to a different meeting place to where you could either go, or both parties could go and talk about, what's going to happen, pretty much talk about pretty much what it looks like to get divorced, like the whole process of what happens. And so that'll help a lot. You're definitely going to want to pay attention when you go to that meeting, because it'll make things a lot easier. But pretty much they just give you dates that certain paperwork has to be due by, and you just get everything in on time. And for me, we were still late on a few items, but they didn't really do anything about it. But I advise not to be late on paperwork. We had, let's see, it was 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 court dates that they made. I don't know why 3, but there's the first one, which was, I don't even remember what it was about, but I remember the second one was, I think it's like about, they do 3 divorce court hearings just to pretty much go through the paperwork and finalize it from a judge. So like the last court date I went to, which was about a couple weeks ago, was finalizing child support. I think the one before that was finalizing like pretty much children custody. So when he gets the kids, when I get the kids, holidays, all that stuff. And then the first one, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't think there is 3. I think there's only 2. My bad. But yeah, there's 2. The first one was the child custody agreement and all that about the children. Second one was the child support, and then anything that we own that we need to figure out who's keeping what and all that. And then the judge will approve whatnot and kind of talk to you about. We didn't have anybody help. I don't know what it's called, but we didn't have anybody helping us on the side. It was just us and doing the paperwork. But that's because we were able to work well together, and we both knew we wanted a divorce. We weren't fighting it, and we just like, we didn't really own anything together, so that made it a lot easier too to finalize stuff. But the last court date was, so until the last court date, that took probably, I'd say we started it, I don't know, it took around, it was about a 5-month process. So a divorce with kids takes about 5 months, 6 months, I think. So it takes a while, but end result is great because, yeah, you're divorced finally. But the last court date, you do want to make sure that you tell them about the name change, or you have to go back and file more papers about that. With the last court date, it's easiest to just tell the judge, and then he'll get that approved right then and there. So remember that whenever you see the judge the last court date, tell him you want a name change. And so yeah, that was approved, and then divorce was approved. So now pretty much I'm just waiting for paperwork in the mail that proves that I'm divorced and it was approved by a judge legally. And then the next thing, that step that I'm going to be doing this next week is going to the Social Security office and getting my name changed and all that with the paperwork. So I'll make another video about that, about how to change your last name after divorce, because I'm still going through that. But as I'm going through it, I just thought I would bring you all along with me and kind of tell you guys about the process of divorce. It's not fun, so make sure you marry the right person. Yeah, because you definitely don't want to have to go through this, especially with kids, because, yeah, these little boys are amazing and good. But yeah, so that is pretty much everything. This is already a 9-minute video, but yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like the video below, and then also subscribe. It'll be like, right there. Yeah, subscribe. I'll be coming out with a lot more videos, but this is just the first of many videos. And yeah, so I love you all and have a good day. Bye.